Russia has raised fresh nuclear concerns over expanding U.S. military activities and strategic deployments across the Asia-Pacific region. A senior aide to President Vladimir Putin has warned that nuclear weapons could soon become central to a future confrontation in Asia. Moscow has warned that the AUKUS alliance could transform the Asia-Pacific into a dangerous new nuclear frontline in the coming years. Russia has sharply criticized NATO, accusing the alliance of pursuing military expansion and deeper strategic involvement in Asia. Russian Security Council officials claimed that nuclear weapons infrastructure could eventually appear on Australian territory under future alliance arrangements. Moscow warned that the AUKUS security pact risks increasing nuclear instability and military tensions across the wider Asia-Pacific region. The remarks were made by Russian Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu during Russia-ASEAN security consultations held on May 27. Russia said Washington's refusal to support a new START-related self-restraint framework has become a serious strategic concern for Moscow. Russian officials accused the United States of seeking unrestricted freedom of action in shaping its future nuclear posture and military planning. Moscow also warned that the United States could restart nuclear weapons testing at very short notice if tensions continue to escalate. Russia accused Washington of steadily expanding military force capabilities and strategic deployments throughout the Asia-Pacific region. Moscow claimed the United States is strengthening regional military partnerships aimed at countering both China and Russia simultaneously. A senior Russian official warned that Japan and South Korea could eventually host American nuclear weapons under expanded regional defense arrangements. Russia also accused Washington of escalating military tensions and increasing confrontation across the broader Indo-Pacific theater. Russian officials claimed the United States is building new military political blocs in Asia to expand its regional strategic influence. Russia accused the United States of pursuing military programs in Asia-Pacific that Moscow described as highly destabilizing for regional security. Moscow claimed Washington is developing a regional extension of its wider global missile defense architecture across Asia-Pacific territories. Russian officials warned that the United States may be preparing future forward deployment of intermediate-range missile systems in Asia. The Kremlin described NATO's growing military involvement and security activities in Asia as extremely destructive for regional stability. According to a report by TASS, Russian officials accused Japan of increasingly aligning itself with NATO's strategic agenda. Sergei Shoigu also alleged that Washington is attempting to pressure Asian allies into financing major future military and defense projects.
The events of recent months have provided substantial confirmation of our assessments. They have once again shown that the neo-colonial Western model of development is not viable without a constant inflow of external resources. The colonization of the world, including under the guise of globalization, has failed. Strictly speaking, there is nothing left to pay for the resources being consumed. The United States national debt is approaching $40 trillion, while the European Union's debt has exceeded 15.3 trillion euros. Only one option remains: seizing control over sources of raw materials and transport corridors. This is precisely what Western policy is now aimed at. Such a goal justifies any means, including regime change attempts in Venezuela and the U.S.-Israeli aggression against Iran. The events in the Middle East have once again demonstrated that relying on the West as a guarantor of security is not the most reliable strategy. There is a confirmed risk that Western countries will not only fail to fulfill their security obligations, but will also expose partners and allies to danger in pursuit of their own ambitions. In many European countries, Nazi ideology is rapidly resurging, and they are actively rewriting the history of the Second World War. During numerous military exercises, and, according to your information, as was the case today, there are practically 7 taking place simultaneously. NATO forces are rehearsing a scenario involving strikes against the Union State. Moreover, a number of countries are directly making their airspace available to Ukraine for attacks on Russian territory. The current geopolitical situation remains unstable. In this regard, it is important to maintain a unified approach and closely coordinate our actions in addressing the strategic challenges facing the CSTO, whilst expanding its analytical capacity to ensure a thorough and comprehensive assessment of the situation.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.